As Suzu's journey to the kingdom of K continued, a boy named Seishu that she had met on the ship acted unkindly towards her.
Shoke felt that she could no longer stand working under Queen Kyo, so she stole a kiju and some of the royal treasures and escaped from the palace.
Yoko visited an old man named Enho in Koke of the A province. There she came to realize that the kingdom of K was still suffering, and the threat of Yoma was all too real.
So Yoshi, what kind of stuff do you study every day?
I learn about this world, since right now I don't even know very much about it. And also, I talk to Enho about the world that I came from.
I see.
But the more that we talked about it together, I began to realize that I really don't know very much about the world I come from either.
So is Enho someone that's famous?
I don't know, but I can tell that he's a very wise man.
How do you like the winter here?
It isn't much different than the winters we have in Japan.
I see. Although K tends to be more temperate than most of the northern kingdoms, even in the middle of winter, you're not going to freeze to death by sleeping outside. So then, what do you think people of K are in need of most during the winter time?
Warm shelters. Is that it?
But don't they need food more?
Huh?
In this case, KK is correct. Your answer tells me that you come from Horai where there is no famine.
I see.
I understand now. No wonder you're having such a difficult time. This world and the world you come from are very different.
92, 93...
The distance between two steps is called one pu. It is the unit used to measure the distance.
100.
Very well done, Yoko. The distance you just walked would be 100 pu.
Hey!
100 square pu is 10,000 pu of land. When we reach adulthood, we will receive the property worth 10,000 pu of land from your kingdom. 900 square pu of land is called one sei, and it's divided by 8 families to form a village.
9 pieces of land for 8 families?
One of them is a common field. 80% of it is reserved for the villagers, and the remaining 20% of the common field is used for housing the villagers while they farm during the summer. Each family gets 200 square pu for farming and 50 square pu for their house. The house needs to be just big enough for 2 people, and the farm produces enough for the household. We live in a village during summer and move to a rike in the winter.
Oh, so that's why people are staying at the rike right now.
This one sei of land means everything to the citizens who work so hard to cultivate it. That is very important for you to remember. We are given minimum land and a very modest house to begin with. Then, through our own hard work, we can grow wealthy as we develop it. And if we are blessed and there is no natural disaster, then we can count on the land to ensure we will never starve. And then, the rest is up to us.
But after issuing out land to the people, what am I expected to do next for them?
Your duty to them is limited to just a couple of things. You could begin by storing water in case there is a drought and fortify rivers in case their banks rise up and flood. You could also store grain for famine and have soldiers trained in case of Yoma. Most of those things can be handled by the minor officials of your cabinet, so there is no reason for you to be so worried.
You're right, Enho.
Hey, I'm hungry!
Oh, I'm sorry. You can spend some time thinking about how to further enrich the kingdom later. The important thing now is not to make it worse. You must discipline yourself and live as long as you can. That's all you need to think about at this time.
So you're saying even if I don't do anything, that the people will still survive?
Huh? It's Seki.
Huh?
There was a time not so long ago when I had him as one of my students. Seki, come here for a moment. He was a smart boy and a very good student. I sometimes wonder how he is doing now.
Enho! Here. It's from Mr. Lowe.
I'm sorry, Yoshi, but it appears that I'm having a guest visit tonight.
I see.
Well, we should have some lunch then. I wonder what they've made today.
Look out!
Ow!
Would you quit joking around already? Or you're really gonna fall sometime.
Oh, so it's you, the Sennin lady. Are you still angry with me for what happened to your friend?
Yes, of course I still am. As I told you already, we're Kaikyaku. And we've been through a lot of difficult situations because of who we are. So how can you say to us that it's nothing that special? Now move. I've got to get some water for him.
Why can't he get up and get some water for himself?
What have I been telling you? He can't speak the language. What part of that don't you understand?
That's so stupid. All you're doing is trying to show everybody else how miserable you are. You talk about that guy, then you make yourself out to be more miserable than he is. You do everything you can to make yourself unhappy.
How can you say such a thing to someone who's hurting so much?
Does having a hard time and doing nothing about it make you great? If it were me, I would at least try to do something to make it better.
But I told you I'm a Kaikyaku.
Do you think it's only the Kaikyaku who suffer? You're a Sennin, right? So doesn't that mean you don't get sick or age? Well, unlike you, we grow old. We can get sick and die or starve to death. Can you say that you honestly believe that you still suffer more than we do?
Don't tell me about all your problems. I'd be willing to bet that you have a very fortunate life.
I wonder if I am fortunate in some way.
You can always go back home, right? That's why you're here on this pleasure cruise.
No, I'm here because I was born in K.
See, you're on your way back to K so you can go home to your family.
I don't have a family, and I have no home.
Huh?
It all has to do with the Queen of K. I mean, the last Queen of K that we had. Before she ascended to the throne, K was in the worst shape. My parents had left K and escaped to Ko. But then, several months ago, I think it was something called a shoko. Well, whatever it was, it caused a gigantic landslide.
Darling, don't let go. Please help me.
We were lucky to be alive. But with both the king and the Taiho being gone, we knew that the situation in Ko would only get worse. So we decided to head for So. But when we got close to the border... Many of us were killed. They'll never get home. Even if they still had one. Dad, too. Then I got a job in So for a little while. That's how I saved the money to buy the tickets back to K. But then my mom got sick before we could get her on the ship. The ticket I gave him, that was supposed to be for my mom.
From what I can still remember, my parents were always poor too. In fact, they were so poor that they had to sell me. You've never been sold like that, have you?
The worst part is to be left alone and to feel so lonely.
I know that, 'cause I'm alone too. Once I was sold, I never saw my family again.
Well, I don't have any family left either.
But you were with them when they died, right? I don't even know when it was that both of my parents died.
I was with my mom when she died. But when my dad was killed...
I would have wanted to be with my parents however they died, but I wasn't able to. So you're fortunate that you got to be with them.
You think you know it all, don't you? No, Dad! So do you still wish you could have been there to see your parents when they died?
I'm so sorry. It's just that...
When you think about it, you realize that all people suffer, but they do it in different ways. And even though it's not the same, the pain can still hurt you.
But then... Does that mean that Lady Rio and the Queen of Sai were...
If you were really hurting, then you would have done anything you could to get out of the situation. But you didn't get out, and I think it's because you probably enjoyed feeling sorry for yourself, didn't you? How can you expect others to sympathize with you?
What's wrong?
I have a bad headache.
I'm so sorry. It's probably from earlier.
No, I was struck on the head by a Yoma once, and it still hurts me sometimes. Don't worry. I'll be fine if I lie down.
I see. So he told you that there was a big shoku in the kingdom of Ko, huh?
That's right. He told me that's how he lost his house.
Maybe the shoku that was responsible for bringing me here was also the one that completely destroyed his village. And if that's the case, I'm sure that he hates us for it too. I get it. I'm beginning to understand. He's our enemy now. Damn it.
Enemy?
I know his role. And I understand why he's here. He was sent here to kill us.
After Shokei escaped from Sohu Palace, she sold the earrings she had stolen and bought some new clothes. Then she entered the kingdom of Ryu. The larger inns usually welcomed payments in the form of goods, so Shokei was able to stay at very expensive inns throughout her travels.
Will this be enough?
Oh, yes, that will be more than enough. What an amazing Kiju you have. We've got some great guests here today.
How so?
Well, there's another guest who's staying at the inn who has a suogu here with them.
Really?
Well, it wouldn't have had to be a suogu, but if I had a kitsuryo, I could have made a lot more money.
What do you mean?
It's the gyoku. I could have used it to bring gyoku back with me from Tai.
Oh, you mean these?
That's right. I used to be one of the crew members of a ship that would travel to Tai. We would take grain from here and bring back gyoku from Tai. I made pretty good money doing it, but I had to quit. There are too many Yoma around Tai, and you can't even get close to it anymore. I heard that a new king has ascended the throne, but the kingdom's still in pretty bad shape right now. When we took the last trip from Tai, we ended up loading the ship with people who were desperate to get out of there and come to Ryu. I've heard that Kei's ships are still helping people to get out of Tai.
Kei?
Yes, they were using armed ships to bring back refugees. You could even get citizenship in one of Kei's provinces.
But then, what do they do about having the proper passes?
All they have are the clothes they're wearing. So the citizenship must be a real lifesaver for them.
If I get a Kei citizenship, I might be able to work in the royal palace too. I am well educated, and I know how things work in the palace. I will gain the trust of Queen Kei, and then I'll...
Ma'am?
Oh, is this my room?
Actually, about your room. We have so many guests today, we're asking our customers if they wouldn't mind sharing their rooms.
And you can't do anything about it?
I'm sorry, there are no other vacancies. But the good thing is, this guest is the owner of a suogu, so I'm sure he's okay.
I see.
Hello? Excuse me, sir. This is the guest who will be sharing the room with you.
Sure, I have no problem with that.
But you're a...
I guess you're not used to seeing Hanju. I hope I didn't scare you. I came from N to do some studying and to learn about the capital. How about you?
Oh, well, I'm on my way to Thai. Who's there?
Excuse me, it's the innkeeper.
What is it?
Well, it's about your Kitsurio.
Oh my! I hope nothing bad has happened. Let me open the door for you.
I'd like to see your pass, if I may.
Do you have any idea what time it is? Wait! What's going on?
Where is your pass?
I lost it.
Your name?
Gyokuyo. No, not that!
Let's see. These items are not all of it either. Where's the rest of it?
Excuse me. Here's one.
What's going on out here?
Who are you?
It was him!
What?
He's the one that gave them to me!
Huh? No matter what you keep saying, I really don't remember giving anything to you. What's your name?
My name is Shokei. I mean Gyokuyo.
Shokei is the name of the last princess of the Kingdom of Ho, isn't it? Princess Sancho. People call her Shokei.
How do you know all this? Who are you?
My name is Rakashun, and I'm a student. Hey, were you on the run because you are the princess?
Before you get too worried about who I am, you should think about yourself. You might get crucified tomorrow.
Ho was the only kingdom that had the death penalty for stealing.
Is that really true?
I heard that King Ho was very strict. Even a child would get executed for stealing food.
Just who are you, anyway?
I told you, I'm just a student at Daigaku.
But you're nothing more than just a kid.
Not like I care, really, but I'm actually 22 years old. I suppose I'll be expelled for this if I get prosecuted.
Here's something for you to eat.
Where did you get that food? Did you...
They were given to me.
Then I guess I'll have some. Here you go. Have one.
What's up with this kid? I know you don't like us.
Huh? What did he just say?
Never mind. Don't you want some?
I don't feel like any.
Do you still have a headache?
I'll be fine if I just take a little nap.
Is there something wrong with your eyes?
They feel itchy.
When we get to K, you should go and see a doctor. You never know, it could be very serious.
How do you know? Is it because you're a Sennin? Do you think I'm gonna die soon?
Huh? I was only joking around with you.
Boy, you are really mean.
Well, listen to what you're saying. People like you don't die easily.
I'm watching you now. You just try and get your revenge. I'll see if you're in on this.
What's going on?
Asano, what are you doing?
I don't think he can see anymore.
Seishu.
I think you were right. My eyes aren't working. I can't see things. I think that I may be dying.
No, don't say that. You are not dying, do you understand? You and I are going to Gyoten together, and the first thing we'll do is go to see Queen K. Once we're there, we can ask her to cure your eyes.
I'm so scared. I don't want to die.
Seishu.
When my dad was dying, and then my mom, I tried to smile. I did everything I could to just smile for them. But I don't think I can make myself smile when I feel like it's me that's dying.
So how is everything up there?
No problems so far, but Kokon has not been located yet.
I see. A lot of people must think that I ran away from Kokon and went to N.
Please be careful. Kokon and his clan may make another assassination attempt. You must watch yourself.
You don't have to worry. I have Hankyo and Joyu with me.
I shall deliver the message.
I wonder if Kokon will try and come after me again. Huh? Who could that be?
Gaho is a beast with no tail. It may already be too late.
It was unfortunate that we lost Kaki, but unavoidable, I suppose.
Kaki? That's the Minister of Court who tried to kill me.
Once she begins to cry, she won't stop crying. That poor thing. Those are his final words. The 12 Kingdoms, Episode 30. A Great Distance in the Wind, The Sky at Dawn, Chapter 8.